I'm creating sound effects for these buildings and stuff. And this is sort of a new approach for how we're previously handling these, where there might be one particular asset and then make a sound effect for that. And then the map populates and have to crawl through and find all this stuff. But what I'm trying right now is using our prefab system so that the buildings themselves sort of become like this mega sound effect where all these, there will be like the sound effects attached to different points on the thing itself, so that when it gets deployed, it's already populated. So today I've got this building here, and as we all know, buildings are not silent, so there are going to be a number of different things making noise. Like we've got these little things that are clanging, we've got the awnings that will be whipping up and down, little air conditioner units up here, and then different wind types for the inside and outside. But for right now, I'm going to focus just on these guys. Usually whenever I come up with a challenge like this and I don't find anything satisfactory to start with in my base effect library, usually we'll just walk out in the hall and run through the closet and all of other Brian's stuff that he leaves out there looking for something that's going to make noise in some kind of unique way. And so we've got little things that need to clang. I found a couple things. In the kitchen, I have the bowl of a broken blender. One of the pieces is melted, so I don't even know if we have this, but it's going to be my thing now. But so we've got a blender, a USB cable holding this together because I don't have rope, but that little core filter there, right, that makes it easier to keep in place. And then my keys, and then I've got a couple of water jugs here too. But basically, now we've got sort of a thing that can kind of swing around here and make a little clanging noise. So I've got a small condenser mic, which is good for quiet material or something that might be further away because it captures more detail. And I've got this large diaphragm mic that we've been using for vocal stuff, which is why it's on the little podcast thing here. But basically what I'm going to do is create a really quick setup so that I've got the large diaphragm covering the front for detail, and then this small condenser one a little further away to capture more of the air. Okay, so now usually you have two people doing this and you've got a screen and then all this other kind of stuff. I'm just going to make noise and cut what I want. Everyone has their way of doing it. There's like not one specific way. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Okay. This is stuff clanging outside the gold buildings. That's what we imagine it as. Yeah, that sounds really good. So that's those guys right there. Just a gentle tinkling. Sweet. Yeah, and then we add in the wind on top of that, and the illusion's really going to be good. I really like the results so far. So we've got this Gould building here, and it's not very big. It has enough room for maybe a couple people, maybe two beds, but it does have some of your basic amenities like the sort of air conditioner looking thing on the upper left there, and a water pump on the lower right. And in examining this then, I have to ask myself, okay, what does this do? What is the purpose of this? What are we trying to say? And just having the model itself standing there is sort of, that's more or less the status quo as far as MMOs go. It's the bar, where we know what it is, we know what it looks like, and we can go inside and out of it, but that's about all the limitation of our interaction then. But by me examining this, what I want to say then is, okay, what else do we know about this? What else can it do? What else can it say? And the first thing I wanted to address then was these little globe-looking things over here on the right-hand side of it. And because I know, well, they're not just going to stand there all the whole time. They might be making noise. And so that's where you see me composing that sound effect in the prior clip. On the left here, we've got just the regular version of this that other developers might be satisfied with. And over here on the right, now is my version, and as you can see, there's a lot more to this now. It's not just the standard static mesh anymore,
but now there are these other doodads here that are basically audio actors. This isn't just a static mesh anymore, but it's a place that someone lives. It's a place that has its own purpose, so that instead of just standing there doing nothing, it's making noise, it's interacting with the environment, it's interacting with the player, and also it's doing things on its own with various types of scripted behavior underneath it. You might think, well, what does a building do? Think about it. A building does an awful lot, and there's no reason why an MMO can't exhibit that as well. Okay, so now I've got a few more of these buildings set up along with some other accessories around here, and the point of this is to display how powerful this system becomes when I can just wrap this whole thing up into what's called a prefab and then start dropping it around the world. Normally you would have these just as static meshes. They'd be sitting there, they would be part of the scene, you'd be able to look at them and appreciate them, but they don't do much else other than stand there. You know you can go inside them, but there's really nothing else to that. It's just a prop sitting there. And my goal is to make it so that it's more than just a prop, and one of the best ways to do that is start with some really great audio. So as we walk around here now, you can hear the that sort of clanging noise now in between all of these, and that it's a subtle detail. It's not huge, but it does add an element of layering to it, of a little bit, not necessarily realism, but it makes it feel like it's more multi-dimensional. Additionally, one of these AC units is turned on. It's around here. Oh, it sounds like that one over there. There it is. So that AC unit turned on its own. It'll run for a while and shut off on its own as well. It also sounds like a water pump is on around here somewhere. There it is. That also started up on its own, and it will turn on and off intermittently. They'll have either good, smooth, well-tuned sounds, or they might start rattling eventually. You can also hear the awnings flap a little bit in the wind here and there. There are some other environmentally reactive elements to this that I won't show you right now because that's something that's still important to keep under wraps, but basically these buildings, instead of being just static meshes, they are now part of the environment. They are someone's home. This is a place. This is a place where that's alive. It's where people are. You interact with it. It interacts with you, and it just has that element of home then to it for some people as well. So it's a very lush experience and something that we're very excited to share with people when they see this.